This could be the biggest iPhone change we have seen in years. Apple's first foldable smartphone is getting closer, and new leaks suggest this is not just another iPhone with a folding screen. This could create a completely new category between the iPhone Pro Max and the iPad, but the biggest surprise is not only the foldable display. It is the way Apple may completely change the buying decision for anyone planning to upgrade. Because if these leaks are accurate, the upcoming iPhone Fold or possibly iPhone Ultra will become Apple's most expensive and most ambitious mobile device ever. The expected launch window is around late 2026, possibly arriving with the iPhone 18 Pro lineup. But some supply chain information suggests limited availability because this design is extremely difficult to manufacture, and that creates one important question. Should you buy the next iPhone Pro or wait for Apple's first foldable? The answer is more complicated than most people think. The first major change is the design. Most foldable phones today follow a tall and narrow style. They look like normal phones that open into a larger screen. Apple appears to be taking a different direction. Instead of creating a bigger iPhone, Apple may be creating something closer to a pocket iPad. The leaked design suggests a wider passport-style body. When closed, it is expected to feel shorter and wider compared to traditional smartphones. This could completely change daily usage, typing, watching videos, editing photos, multitasking, and productivity workflows could feel closer to a tablet experience. But that's not the biggest change. The engineering behind this device may be the real story. Apple has waited years before entering the foldable market because one major problem has existed since the beginning: the crease. Many foldable phones are impressive, but the visible line in the middle of the screen still reminds users they are using experimental technology. Apple reportedly wants a near creaseless experience. The inner display is expected to be around 7.8 inches with advanced OLED technology, while the outside screen could measure around 5.5 inches. This means when closed, you get a compact premium device. When opened, you get a much larger workspace. For creators, professionals, and power users, this could become a serious productivity upgrade. Imagine editing content, reading documents, managing emails, watching videos, or using two apps side by side without carrying another device. That is where Apple's ecosystem advantage becomes important. But here's where things get interesting. To achieve this ultra-thin folding design, Apple may remove some features that current Pro users expect. One of the biggest rumored changes is Face ID. Because the unfolded body could be extremely thin, Apple may not include the traditional Face ID hardware. Instead, leaks suggest the device could return to Touch ID built directly inside the power button. For some users, this will actually be a benefit. Touch ID is fast, simple, and works in situations where Face ID can struggle. But for others, losing Face ID on a device that may cost more than $2,000 could feel like a compromise, and this is where the buying decision becomes difficult. The iPhone Fold may be Apple's most futuristic iPhone, but it may not include every Pro. Feature performance should still be extremely powerful. The device is expected to use Apple's next generation A20 series chip with around 12 GB of RAM. That combination should deliver excellent gaming performance, AI features, multitasking, and long-term value. The extra memory is important because foldable devices are not used like normal phones. Users open multiple apps, switch between tasks, and use the larger display for professional workflows. This is where performance benchmarks may not tell the full story. A normal iPhone already has incredible speed. The real upgrade value comes from what the larger display allows you to do, but most buyers are missing another detail: the camera system. Because of the folding design and limited internal space, Apple may not include the same camera setup as the highest Pro models. Leaks suggest a dual camera system with wide and ultra-wide lenses. That means no dedicated telephoto zoom camera. For normal users, this may not matter. Photos, videos, social media content, and everyday shooting should still look premium, but photographers and creators who depend on zoom quality may actually prefer the iPhone Pro Max. This creates a very interesting comparison. The iPhone 18 Pro Max may remain the best traditional iPhone. The iPhone Fold may become the best futuristic iPhone. Different products for different buyers. The software experience could also decide everything. Folding phone is only valuable if the software takes advantage of the larger screen. The device is expected to use a future version of iOS, designed with better multitasking. Think side-by-side apps, improved layouts, and more tablet-like controls. This could help professionals who currently switch between an iPhone and iPad, but it probably will not fully replace an iPad, and that is important. This is not expected to be a complete laptop replacement. It is designed for people who want one premium device that can do more. Now we need to talk about the biggest factor: the price. Early estimates suggest this could become one of Apple's most expensive consumer devices. The base model could possibly start above $2,000. Higher storage versions may move even closer to ultra-premium laptop pricing. So is it worth the price? For most normal users, probably not immediately. A standard iPhone Pro will still offer amazing cameras, performance, battery life, and long software support for much less money. But for early adopters, professionals, tech enthusiasts, and users who always want the newest Apple experience, the iPhone Fold could be something special. This is not just an upgrade, it is a completely different category. The first generation will also have risks. New designs usually improve massively after a few years. Battery efficiency, durability, software, and production quality often get better with future generations. So the smartest buying decision depends on your situation. If your current phone is old and you need an upgrade soon, buying a current iPhone Pro still makes sense. You will get better value, proven reliability, and a premium experience. But if you already have a recent iPhone and you want the biggest Apple change in years, waiting could be the smarter move. The iPhone Fold represents Apple's next major experiment. It may not be perfect, it may be expensive, and it may not be for everyone, but it could show us where the future of premium smartphones is heading. Final verdict: buy a current iPhone Pro if you need the best value today. Skip the first iPhone Fold if you only care about price and camera performance, but wait for the iPhone Fold if you want Apple's most futuristic device, a new premium experience, and a product that could completely change how we think about smartphones. Because this time, the biggest upgrade may not be faster performance. It may be a completely new way to use an iPhone.